When a child develops an attitude problem, they usually get punished and then sent to their room. But when a vehicle develops an attitude problem, they call it a new addition and make more sales, baby. And today I want to introduce you to the 2022 Hyundai Santa Fe XRT. Let's talk about it. The XRT is the newest addition to the Santa Fe lineup, and it is starting in 2022. And there are a few exclusive things that you only get on the XRT. For example, if you look at the grille, you will see that it is blacked out, and the lower half of the bumper is also blacked out. And a little stylistic cue, these little tusk looking things on the bottom of the grille, I like the way they look on the regular Santa Fe, but blacked out they look even better. Coming over to the side of the Santa Fe, you will notice that you still have 18s, but the XRT has some blacked out exclusive rims. Mirror housings are also blacked out, even getting into the tiniest details of the side rails for the roof rack. Those are also blacked out. I'm seriously wondering why they just didn't call it the blackout, but XRT fits that just fine. Next up is the engine, and you will find once you pop it that beauty is only skin deep, because aside from all that blacked out stuff, this is still a Santa Fe SEL. And luckily enough, you still have the same engine. When you actually drive it, you'll be expected to get about 25 miles per gallon in the city and about 28 miles per gallon on the highway. If you opt to get the all-wheel drive version, it'll be only a hair underneath that. Getting here to the rear of the car, you will notice that it still has the same rugged good looks and appeal that the Santa Fe exudes from the front as well. So if you live down here in Florida like me and want to go to Daytona Beach, you park this on the beach, and no matter how the people see it, they will know that the XRT means business. And by the way, if you happen to live in Orlando like I do and want to buy a car directly from me, click that first link in the description below that says schedule with Miguel. That way I can guarantee that once you get here, you can deal with me, because I want you to come to my dealership. I don't want you to deal with anybody else. Buy the car from me. I can help you out. Miguel, my car guy scheduling link. Go ahead and let me know, baby. But back to the XRT. Again, beauty is only skin deep, and if you take away all the blacked out stuff, you actually have a Santa Fe SEL with the convenience package, because the convenience and the XRT both have the electric tailgate. So when you're approaching the vehicle, just push the button on your key fob, the tailgate will open, and you can toss all your stuff in. Speaking of trunk room, you have a ton. Even if you decide to leave the seats up, you will be able to fit whatever groceries you got for the family inside the car. But let's say you need a little bit more space. Well, push the buttons on the wall of the Santa Fe, and the seats fold down to allow you to accommodate pretty much anything. And if you want to be fancy like Tesla people, you can actually use the Santa Fe to go camping in, because I mean, just look at me. I have a ton of room in the Santa Fe. So if you want to go camping in your Santa Fe, you pretty much can. Mechanically, the XRT, like I said, is an SEL with a convenience package. Aesthetically, it is that next level because it does have exclusive features. But what about practically? If you're asking me, I would say the XRT is that much more practical than the SEL because of the side steps. Yes, it is the first Santa Fe to offer standard side steps from the factory. So if you happen to have issues getting into the car, just step on the side step, hop on in, and start enjoying some of those beautiful and fantastic features on the inside. One of the coolest things about the interior of the Santa Fe, and one of the first things people notice, is the shift-by-wire system, meaning that if you want it to go into drive, you just push the button that says drive. If you want to go into reverse, neutral, park again, just push the corresponding button to go to that gear. And being that there are no more mechanical linkages required from the shifter selector to the transmission, well, that opens up a few more possibilities. For example, this is a key box. It's almost as big as my head. What it does is allow us to keep the keys on the car that we actually have here at the dealership. That way I don't got to keep on running back and forth, back and forth, back and forth at my dealership, because, well, we're a pretty big dealership. But with this space right underneath the shifter selector, now you could actually put something as big as my head underneath that. So purses, tablets, key boxes can fit all right underneath there, adding for a lot more storage possibilities in any Santa Fe, including the XRT. A few of the cool things on the Santa Fe, I'm not gonna dive too deep in because it is the standard stuff you come to expect from Hyundai. You still have adaptive cruise control. That way, it could adapt to the cruise control, so that way you don't have to be turning on and off the cruise control, set it at a speed, and let the car adapt to traffic. Yes, you still do have blind spots on the vehicle to let you know when somebody's there, but there's a few other cool things that I think really make the Santa Fe shine. Now, the Santa Fe really is a modern car for modern people because let's face it, pretty much everybody has a smartphone, and some of us are even fancy enough to have a wirelessly charging smartphone. So if that is you, do not worry, the Santa Fe could charge your phone wirelessly. But looking at the center console, you're probably wondering, where the heck do you put it? Well, the Santa Fe's wireless charger is actually vertical. So you just have to slide it right in to the vertical charger and it will start to charge. The benefit of that is if that you have one of these big old extended phones like iPhone Pro Max or whatever other gargantuan phone you actually have, it makes it much easier for the charger to make contact and actually allow the phone to charge. So that is thinking outside the box, and the Santa Fe engineers definitely did. Dual zone air conditioning is another great thing included in the XRT. If you're going on a long road trip, all you have to do is adjust the climate control on your side to whatever feels best for you. Yes, can you be different than the person sitting next to you? Absolutely. Can you be the same as the person sitting next to you? Absolutely. But now with the XRT and the dual zone air conditioning, you have that option. Another great thing about the XRT is that you have that beautiful touchscreen. Not only does it double as your radio, of course, but you can scroll through the different menu options with ease. And one thing in particular that's pretty cool is the quiet mode. So if you happen to be picking up people who are a little tired and want to go to sleep, turn on quiet mode. Quiet mode turns down the speakers in front and turns off the speakers in the back. That way they could rest while you are still jamming. Another great thing too is that yes, you still have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and it is actually wireless in the 2022 XRT. So if you don't have a wire, don't worry, you can still find out exactly where you are without having to put your phone to your face and still having those GPS coordinates available to you. Something that I love about Hyundai is that they make everything pretty simple and pretty neat. What I mean is, for example, if you're driving another vehicle, if you want to switch it into like a sport mode or eco mode, you got to push a button. Two different buttons for two different things. But with Hyundai, it is not so, because in the Santa Fe, you do have this big knob right here that allows you to switch through drive modes on the fly. It doesn't matter if you're going 5 miles an hour, 10 miles an hour, switch it on the fly, so that way everything is integrated and it declutters the dash. But if you happen to look at the dash itself, you'll notice that you also do have a digital dashboard, meaning that if you are in the comfort mode, really good for efficient driving, it'll look like this. But once you pop it into sport, everything changes to red and you really feel the power with that red color. And if you don't want to be bothered by switching the modes every single time you're driving, pop it into smart and let the car figure it out, because it is literally that intelligent to adapt to the way you're driving. Now, the front is a great place to be, but you will be enjoying your time even if you're sitting in the back, because just look at all the room the Santa Fe allows you to have if you are lucky enough to be sitting back there as a passenger. First and foremost, air conditioning vents, making even the hottest days a thing of the past with those vents in back for everybody. Right underneath that, you also do have USB ports. So if you happen to be one of those people who always have a low battery on their phone, not to worry, just make sure you bring a cable, plug up your phone so you can stop freaking out. Not only that, the seats also do recline, so should somebody want to sit up straight and another person want to recline a little bit, take a nap, they can definitely do it. And if it's a little bit too bright outside, not only do you have the darker windows in back, but you actually have this little shade separator, so that way you can get all the shade you need on those busy, bright days. And so guys, that has been a brief walkthrough of the 2022 Santa Fe XRT. And no, I didn't talk about every single little difference in the car because it would take way too long and I'm too fun for that. But if you like the video, go ahead, hit like, leave a few comments of what else you'd like to see on the channel, and subscribe if you made it this far. I mean, come on, you pretty much owe it to yourself to help me grow the channel, and thank you to all those who already have. But guys, if you want to go ahead and buy a car directly from me, myself, click the first link. This is scheduled with Miguel, and I'll make it happen, Captain. But until next time, I'm Miguel, your car guy, and I'll see you soon. When oh, it's bright, son of a. And being that there are no more mechanical linkages, okay. Listen. One of those slingshots. Of course, they're blasting it. Baby, come move to Orlando if you like stuff like that.